Well, the plane was bouncing around quite a bit like a railroad. That big airplane was really bouncing. That flak was thick. And I happened to notice out of the corner of my eye, I saw smoke. And I thought, some poor so-and-so is on fire. I turned the turret to see who it was, and yikes, it's us. They caught our number 4 engine and knocked it out. Well, when you leave the target after you've made a bomb run, ordinarily they put the 4 throttle to the firewall. Let's get the heck out of here. Out home. Well, we only had 3, so we couldn't get the heck out of there. We just kept dropping back. The crowd pulled away, and the fighters waited till we were alone. And the tail gunner called him out again. That's okay, watch him. I'm going to look around the bottom and check it out down before one coming up. I said, call me, but he never called. All I heard, I just was turning my turret around, and I heard his gun go off. And I brought my turret up, and there's a flock of wolf right on our tail. His wings, I thought he was on fire, but it was his wingtip all along the wings of his machine gun and cannon along his cowling. And boy, he even got so in his pass, he got the tail gunner, the plane, shot out the control, and in that pass, hit my turret, shot me full of holes, trying to make a sieve out of me. And then he was gone. I fired at him, and naturally, he was gone. Another plane came in. I shot at him. I don't know if I hit any time or not. You don't have time to look at that stuff when you're alone. The second plane, after he made a pass, my guns quit working. Oh boy, now what do I do? And they told us in England, your gun stopped working, just turn the turret around, keep it moving, that'll scare them off. Well, like I said before, the other people, I guess they never heard that in Germany, because they sure didn't stay away from us. And, well, I couldn't use the gun, but a tail gunner, I was certainly dead. He had stopped shooting, no sound from there like that. Well, at least I can go back and use the tail gun. And I got up inside the plane, and before I got in the plane, you have to turn your guns down to get out of the turret. And as I turned my guns down, there's a flock of wolves sitting about 50 feet below us looking up at me. And of course, I tried charging, watched the live rounds fall on my guns. There was no way, and I used a few choice words for him, but it didn't hurt him at all. Well, I get up in the plane, and it didn't sound like a rat. Rats running around in the middle of the roof because there were cannon shells and machine gun bullets going through the plane. They were shooting really having a ball. This is one of them early times of the war when they had their first B-17 to shoot at, I guess. Let's see, my waist gunner was shooting, and about the time, I thought, I'm going to get killed. I was surprised. I thought I'd go over and make 25 missions, come home, no trouble. And I was surprised. I thought, I'm going to get killed. And I thought, boy, what's Mother going to think when she gets word that I've been wiped out? Well, my waist gunner kept shooting, and that quick, he was hit, and they killed him. And I better put on a parachute, because you couldn't wear a parachute in the turret. And I tied it up to the side of the plane, and I slid my arms in the harness, and about that time all hell broke loose, crashing and carrying on. And then it got real quiet, and I thought, my God, we crashed, and I'm still alive. I stood up, looked out the window, so we're still in the air. What's going on? And this is fast and furious, believe me. And then I got my head on a 50 caliber machine gun hanging upside down. That doesn't belong there. Now what? I looked over to my left, and I knew what the noise was. We didn't have a tail, and we're upside down. Coming down at a flat spin. We were about 25,000 feet when we got hit. I didn't know what was coming off, but I knew time to either make up your mind, Paul. I'm going to jump or write it down. I thought, well, I always wanted to try parachute riding, so I'll jump. I got to the back of the plane and had my hands like this to get out. It was crazy. I almost slipped and fell out. Oh, I got to do it my way. Like Roger or somebody, I guess. I don't know. That had to be me. 3 times I slipped at it. Man, what am I slipping in? Oh, yeah, my blood, my patriotism I'm standing, slip around in it. Well, I hadn't buckled my leg straps. They were too tight. I thought, heck, I won't need them, yeah. Well, how do you jump out? They never taught me anything, so I tumbled out like a big gingerbread man. I'm on looking at the blue sky and saw that cable going through the air with a D-ring on it, and I woke up. When the parachute opened, the buckle that should be here came up and caught me under the chin, knocked me out, and I was choking to death at this parachute. I don't care for parachute riding. I reached in to get some air. When I did, I dropped down. Now I'm hanging by this part of my arm. In the parachute, good Lord, I locked him up. Made a couple swings, hit the ground. Believe me, it was close. I felt maybe 25,000 feet we were up when we got hit. I might have got out about 500 or 800 feet. It was close. And I plowed the farmer's field up again with my face and I goggles. Man, oh man, I don't like parachutes at all. And I heard this buzzing, and a hawk of wolf would circle me. I stood up. Held my hand up. I don't know why I waved to him. But he come diving down at me. I said, oh boy. And he waggled his wing like a salute and took off. Well, saved again. And Frenchman come out in the field, took me by my right elbow to help me out of the field. Got out a bullet jammed in there against the bone. Didn't smash it, but whatever it went through before slowed it down. And he grabbed at it. No. We started walking out of the field, and my leg hurt. That foot, that hurt too much too, so he piggybacked me out of the field. Well, we got to the end of that field. We were about this high from the road, plus a ditch, and I patted him on the back, let me down, I'll get off myself. He shook his head no, and he jumped. I almost had a heart attack. That was worse than the parachute ride. And he's talking to me. They tried to put me on the crossbars of a bike. Now, with a shrapnel on the back of my legs, no way am I going to ride on that thing. And she said something. And he come back, got a wooden wheelbarrow. And he hauled me a half mile into town on the wooden wheelbarrow. Smoking my last lucky strike, muddy and bloody. The conquering hero rides up his wooden wheelbarrow. And boy, what a world. He took me into his home, and they let school out, come see the American flyer. Everybody wanted to know when the war was going to be over, and I said, Christmas, but I didn't say which one. This was October 1942, it was real early. They went through they had like a snake line, snake dance through the house with the kids, and they lined it all up, kissing me on the cheek. Everybody kissing her twice on the cheeks. And the women, the older women with their apron, hoo, kissing me. And the young girls roll up their sleeves, Paul. You're in business now. All up chicks. But I'm kidding. The old men came over, the guys with their mustache handlebars, but I didn't want to happen. I got my kisses out of them too, anyhow. And they're that quick. I was there maybe 2 hours with them. And pretty soon, the Frenchman got real straight-faced sober, and he said, Debosh. Well, I knew what Debosh were crowds. They come in, and the officer was with them. driver of the car and an officer, and he walked over and stuck his finger under my nose and said, "Are you the Boris Opa?" I said, "Yeah, you sucker, you." So, there is your pistol, there is your comrade, there is your money. I don't know what you're talking about. Kept doing this, and finally they gave up. Carried me out, put me in the car, sitting on the back seat. I didn't know where they were taking me, but it didn't matter. But every so often we'd stop, like a hotel, gas house along the road, and you'd see the people's faces looking out, and he was real proud to go in there. Look what I got. Here they come, everybody lined up around the car, checking that American flyer out, and I was like a monkey on display. And the driver looked at me, he said, I was pretty good. I was about 180 pounds then. And he looked at me and he said, "Ah, nice." He said, "The German Fraulein, they would like you." I said, "Well, don't fool around. Take me to them." I joined the crowd. I'm easy to get along with. Then he tried to talk to me and he said, "Mutter, Vater," and yeah, I got that through. He was real happy that I was talking to him, and he had a chain around his neck with a plate hanging on it. And I bet you that's a Gestapo. Well, I looked at him, I pointed to it, Gestapo, and he laughed like heck. He said, 999, military police. Thank God for that. So let's see, from there, get back in the car, they get back in, drive so far and they stop. People come out to see the American flyer. About 3-4 places we stopped. But they took me to a big hospital in Arras, France, and gave me a shot to dead in my back of my leg or my elbow and my foot, and I'll pull the slug out of me and shrapnel. And they dig and cut and dig and cut. I must be cutting my foot off. But they finally got the last one out of my foot. There were three bullets in me that stuck there but never broke, never did any damage as far as breaking bones. Were you big, woman? You don't want to hear my story? Gee whiz! I'll go marry a strange woman and I'll tell her. It was quite a while. One slug they pulled out of me, held it up, he said, "Souvenir?" I said, "Nobody. No souvenir. You made it, you keep it." I don't know. I was in the hospital about 2 weeks. And I don't know something like that much happened in there. Well, one time they gave me a book to read, and I was reading that, and the doctors came in, and after they left, there was an English kid there who could speak German. And after they left, he said, "They're going to change your ration." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "They're going to take your white bread away and give you black bread. Because you didn't come to attention in bed when the officers come in." I said, "No, big whoop. They could take their stuff. What do I do?" Then, okay, finally I get out of there, take you to an interrogation center. Well, took you in a little 6x8 room. There you are, table, chair, and a bed, that's it. Come in, the first guy opened the door, come in, screaming and carrying on. "What are you doing over here bombing our women and children?" Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Hell, you started it." So, he was really, I thought he was going to whack me one. He was really vicious. He left. About 15 minutes, the door opened, another guy came. Butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. It's so nice. "Sergeant Gordon, have a cigarette." "Oh, sorry, yeah." "What gives? Why did they change their attitude?" See? They ain't making cereal number, that's all I got. That's it. He asked me different things. He wanted me to say yes, because they knew all what he was asking. All they were looking for is confirmation, really. They told me more than I could tell myself about this stuff. They had pretty good intelligence, believe me. And I guess I kept asking them. do something about my leg because it was pounding like the worst toothache I've ever had in my life. Man, they just pumped. And they didn't bother. Finally, after 2 weeks, they decided to let me out. And they took me to a little room on the side, stood me there like a criminal, my hands on the wall, my legs spread, and they opened that leg up. Well, there was white tile on the wall, I remember that. And if you go back there today, I'll make you bet you'll see my claw marks on that white tile when they opened. Really did that hurt. After a while, it started to ease off. Okay, they did give me a favor, really. And from there, they put you in a holding area and get a bunch of guys together and take you to different camps. We went to the first camp, we went to Stalag 3. There was only about 8 or 10 of us at that time, which was real early. We didn't have that many guys prisoners. And went to Stalag 3, spent some 9 months or so in Stalag 3, which was an English camp. That was about the movie The Great Escape. That was not American, that was English guys that dug their tunnel and escaped. But they took us out of there finally. Took us up on the Baltic Sea. They put you in about 40 and 8 boxcars, 40 men or 8 horses a year. Well, they forgot to sign because there was a lot. We had to sleep in shifts to turn over and shift and move. But anyhow, we get up there. We'll be there a short while, and somebody said, "Let's dig a tunnel." Big whoop. Now what? He said, "Well, you're a coal cracker. You know about mining." He said, "You be in charge of the tunnel." Okay. Well, we started digging our tunnel. Well, it didn't take too long. No air. So we had to knock it off, and I was up in the barracks building a fan to pump air down into us. And here the crowds come in with their German Shepherd dogs, and I mean, they're big. And it looked like ponies to me. And put the dogs down the tunnel, and they come out, and the guys went down there, and the Germans went down and checked it out. No, nobody there, so they ran equipment back and forth over this, and smashed their tent. Well, what we did, when we were digging this tunnel, to hide the sand, that fresh sand we were digging, we put that in our pockets and had a string around it, open, and just walk around the compound, picking our feet in the sand, a little bit out our pants legs, so everybody got rid of their sand. And so we had little gardens, put it in there. Well, that was the end of the tunnel work. So, but in the meantime, there was one spot in the field, was a wet spot. The guys decided to have a big mud battle. Well, we're carrying containers of water out there, and I mean, made a big puddle to play with. And they're throwing themselves around it, and oh, now that was a sight. And I'm watching all this, and man, the morning, the muddier they got, right above them was a German in a guard tower, and he's cracking up. He's really enjoying all this. But in the meantime, underneath his tower, that's why they were doing that, for his attention, because 2 guys were trying to cut through the fence underneath him. But then they gave it up. They didn't make it. I guess too many people on the outside could see them coming. Okay, from there they took us in another camp, Stalag 7A, and down there is where we had, well, it was a little bit worse than a Luft camp, because the air camps, Stalag Luft is air camp, and this is just a Stammlager. And one time I got out to go, we had to guard at our place, and I asked to go over to, well, I didn't ask, I tried to trade to go over to the black market. The guys that were working on detail, Air Force men couldn't go and work, but regular Army guys could go and work. That would have been better, because we could out and trade food with the people. And they let me out of the gate to go over there, and I come back. They changed the guard, and he wouldn't let me in. He said I was a Ruski. And the guys were inside the fence. Nix 9 Ruski, Amerikanis. Finally, he got the message and let me back in again. Why would I fight to get back into a prison camp, huh? Dumb me. From there, it wasn't too much. Well, the one time they had a big issue of, what does it do? Vegetable soup.
Condensed.
No, dehydrated vegetables. And they made this soup and sent it to us. I don't know why or who stirred that soup up. And look at that. A worm come floating up to the top. Lift them out. There's another one. And a worm about that long with a brown nose. I remember that. And we flip them out. And then it ended up there was almost more worms than there was of vegetables. And the second day we had that, to hell with the worms, let them look out for themselves. So I didn't tell them. I sat in the corner and ate it. And I'm still here, so I guess it didn't hurt me. And from there, they took me to Stalag 17B, which was the last prison camp I was in. And not too much happened there. A few things, but not really that much. How are we doing on the time, Ruth?
We're doing good. We're doing good. You have about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yes, dear.
6 or 7. I say 6 or 7.
We're trying to shorten it up.
When the Russians were in Vienna, and we could see the flashes of the guns at night and hear the booming of the cannon, and the Germans decided we weren't going to surrender to the Ruskies, but it'd be better to surrender to the Americans. They'd be treated better. Boy, were they surprised. But anyhow, we, instead of no boxcars this time, it was shoe leather freight. 500 at a time, we'd start walking with very little food, not much of anything really. And we'd walk. First day out, I said, "What's that big white mountain?" The guy said, "That's the Alps." I like that, French Alps. And I sunburned my nose. Beautiful day. We laid our blanket on the ground. My buddy and I were combine buddy. Used his blanket on the top, mine on the bottom. Woke up in the morning, 2 inches of snow on top of it. I said, what the hell kind of a world are we in over here? So we go so far, walk maybe 25 miles a day, and then stop, give you a break after a couple of days. Sleep in the fields, sleep in barns, anything that they find for us. And oh boy, this is some life. Anyhow, I won't use the word, but we were walking and we looked down, and there was a big muddy river down there. I said, what is that? They said, the Danube, the Blue Danube. I said, wow. 2 days later, we're walking, shuffling along there, and one of our guards could speak English, and very prim and proper guy. Well, he was Sergeant Struck, they called him, and he was a kook. Everything had to be just so. But we're walking in a second in. Some guy said, wonder where the hell we're at. Another guy says, I don't know, but down there's that blankety blank Danube. Well, that crowd was alongside of us at the time, and he screamed, it's not the Blue Danube. It's not the blankety blank Danube, it's the Blue Danube. And screamed, must have been jumped 3 feet in the air. Well, I looked at that guy, I must fell off my face laughing at him. And I still think that's what got most of us through the war, a sense of humor. Maybe we find something to laugh about. And then we were coming to the city of Linz, and they said, when you get in the city, do not look right or left, look straight ahead, don't make any sudden move. The people might not enjoy it. Okay, we're going into the town, and man, oh man, fighters come over, and I swore they were aiming right at me. Coming down, they never bombed the bridge when we were on it, but luckily I don't know whatever it took. But one of the guys had made an American flag with white towel. I guess that's what saved it. But they wagged our wings and took off. And after we left the city of Linz, that's it. We saw some guys that were marching the opposite direction, and they were in striped uniform. You wanted to see something horrible. They looked like zombies in uniform, Jewish guys. in a striped uniform with a yellow star. And they stopped alongside of us, and the guys were talking to them. How long you been on the march? They said 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. They wouldn't take anything that we tried to offer them. And they go, what are you eating? They were pulling grass off the ground and pulling leaves out of the tree. That's what they were eating. And those guys, oh man, that was horrible to see them. And after we started to walk again, I moved up, and in the field there was about 10 or 12 of them laying there, all positioned, and you could see with the skeleton, where the bone part was in the uniform. So I never forgot that, believe me. Okay, Ruthie, how much? You want me to knock it off? Well, we got as far as Brownout in Austria, and they put us in a big pine forest there. And that's where we were liberated by the 13th Army Division of the 3rd Army. And Hitler was born in Brownout, just close by. So that is the end of my tale of woe for now. That's it.